when you walk into a haunted house room, you've got like 3 to 5 seconds to convey a story and a goal to the audience. So you have to do that through movement, because a lot of people just don't know how to scare people. So I have to teach people. I call it the scare pose. I also have to like teach them how to like retreat into a scare hold. The last thing you want your audience to think when they're in a haunted house is, I'm in a haunted house. What I teach my cast, it's kind of a mantra. I call it scare, retreat, repeat. When you come out and scare, you're scaring like to the front. You don't just then turn around and walk back into your hole. You got to retreat away while also scaring. Because if you're a werewolf, you're not going to, and then just turn around and walk off. Mm-hmm. Like, you got to be a werewolf, but also get away from the audience. Because otherwise, you're just standing in a room waiting for them to leave, and that's super weird.
Oh, hey, oh, hey, oh. You are now tuned into the best roofing podcast in the world, the Roof Trollz.
Finally, we are back, Roof Trollz.
5 hours later.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is because we were talking about going virtual and ending season 1, and every time we talk about ending season 1 of the Roof Trollz, we end up getting another guest that hits us up or like wants to go forward and do something. So I'm like, all right, well, season 1's concluding soon. So eventually we're going to end season 1, but for right now, I got Eddie back here with me again. Eddie's been on a few episodes, and we have a special guest, but I'll let him introduce himself. Go ahead and take it away from here.
Sure. I'm Justin Hill. I'm with Haunted Hills Haunted Attractions right there in Merrillville.
Nice.
Yeah. We've been here in Northwest Indiana for 17 years. So
that's crazy. So this is our first conversation.
Yeah.
It's our first time sitting down with each other.
Yep.
And I had asked him, because I didn't want to ask too many questions. Obviously, we're going into a podcast right now. It's better that I learn everything on the fly, which makes it more enjoyable for everybody. But I did ask how long they've been around. It was 17 years.
Yeah.
It's wild, dude. And you guys are big out here, too. So since I've been in Northwest Indiana, your name gets brought up a lot. So I'm from Illinois originally. So most of the time where, we, when we think of haunted houses, we're always thinking of like Reaper's Realm,
sure,
or the prison, in Joliet, state prison, Statesville, and stuff like that. But then when you get out here, they're like, oh, Haunted Hills, and I see you guys over there, but I have not been through there yet. So how do you even get into something like that?
Yeah. So, I mean, really, we like stumbled into it. So growing up, our house, so I'm like the general manager. My parents own it. I take care of all the creative side of everything, and they do the business. So growing up, everything in our house was always like entertainment. All the time. It was always singing karaoke, doing magic, doing whatever, performance, stuff like that. We were always in the talent shows. My dad was a musician essentially up until I was born. Then he didn't have time to be gone all the time. Then he was home. So my whole life was always just entertainment. It also was always like everyone around us was just always into horror. So I was born in the 90s. So my parents and their families were around for, the wave of 80s horror, the greatest stuff ever.
Yes.
So
greatest films ever made.
Yeah.
100%.
So those were kind of brought on to me like super early. My oldest memory is, and I had to be like 4 years old, was in our old house, laying on the floor, eating hot Cheetos and watching Amityville 3D with my aunt. And I don't remember the movie. I just remember like the cover. It's got like a creepy hand coming out of the screen because it was like 3D and stuff.
Isn't it funny that like when we were kids, that's how we gauge movies?
Yeah.
For the kids that are out now, like you guys don't have the movie theater, or not movie theaters, but the movie rental stores and stuff like that. So they don't have those. When you're a kid, when you go into those things, all you were doing is like trying to find the most ridiculous covers you can. I want to watch this. That's how you stumble across like Basket Case or Rumpelstiltskin, Blood Diner, Toxic Avenger. The old school Swamp Thing, like
Absolutely.
that. Yeah, those are those are classics.
Yeah.
I haven't heard Amityville in 3D in a long time.
I know.
I just went back and bought the 4K digital remaster for Amityville. It's one of my favorites of all time.
Yeah.
Great film.
So anyway, we kind of fast forward. We always, Halloween was cool. It's a time when you get to dress up. Our neighborhood was also like popping around Halloween time. All the kids were out. All the houses are decorated. There'd be a few like yard haunted houses and stuff around and stuff. But it was almost like the neighborhood was like shut down on Halloween because there's so many kids outside. If you fast forward, I was about 13 at the time, 12 or 13. And we were throwing a Halloween party for my soccer team that my dad was also the head coach. And we had hung up some like bed sheets and stuff in the garage, not to decorate, but like to hide the lawnmowers and stuff because we're having a party in there. We don't want people like screwing with stuff.
Yeah.
And we threw some like red colored Caro syrup on there and put like run and die and stuff. Well, like no one really showed up to the party except a few of my like closer friends. And it was on Halloween. So then all these trick-or-treaters were walking up and saying like, hey, can we go through your haunted house? We're like, well, it's not really a haunted house, but it's also not really a party. So we'll just change gears and we'll hide around and hop out and scare you. And that was a lot of fun. So the next year we said, you know what, let's do a yard haunt. Other houses have had these. Let's check these out. And it all kind of happened at the same time that like same year we went to Statesville. And I found they were promoting a channel they have called The Days of the Living Dead, which is like a behind the scenes reality show about how they put on the haunted house. And that's where I found out like, oh, this is a job. Like this is a career that people can have, is working in haunted houses. And then we started our haunt and it kind of just snowballed. Like eventually we moved, more friends and family are involved. We're buying things, we're building things, till eventually the city of Portage is like, hey, you can't have 1,000 people standing in your front yard.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's like, well, what are we going to do? And they helped us to find a building for like 1 year, or really not even a year, like a month and a half. So we move everything from our yard, go set it up there. And then, while there, the mayor of Lake Station comes to the haunt, goes through it. He pays everything. And when he comes out, he asks like, who's in charge? And we go talk to him and he says, hey, I think this is awesome. And I'd love to have you in Lake Station. We're like, well, that's great. Because after this month, we don't have a place for any of this stuff to go.
Oh, wow.
So he took us around town, showed us a whole bunch of places. We signed a lease agreement. And we ended up in Lake Station for 4 years. Then, we ended up, after that time, we ended up moving to the property we're on now, which we actually bought and own in Merrillville, right there on 30. So now we, which is good because Lake Station, we had grown to every square inch of that building. We had decorated. We had started taking rooms up to like 12 feet tall because there's just no space left to expand out. So now our property, we've got 8 acres out in Merrillville on 30, the busiest highway in Northwest Indiana, right down the road from the water park. And it's been an expansion project this is our 5th year on that property. Just
wow, that's awesome.
Constructing everything. It's also been like a learning process because we, in Lake Station, everything was inside. Well, we took that same haunted house that we constructed for inside and brought it over and put it outside. And then there was a lot of learning that happened about the difference between putting a haunted house inside versus outside.
Are you guys? Do you guys do Christmas too, or is it strictly the?
No, it's just the haunted house. That is
okay.
I would love to clear that up because there is a Christmas light like drive-through right next door.
Yes,
and I know it seems like, and everyone thinks it is. We get like negative reviews about them on our page all the time. And we have to fight them because it's not us. Like it's a whole other family that owns that.
Gotcha.
I don't even really. I've talked to them a few times, but that's it. I don't even know their names. But yeah, that's a whole other group of people.
How many people do you guys have that operate at that level? Like for where you're at right now is your 5th year inside this new building, and you've got 8 acres. Like how many people does it take to run your busiest night?
We've got like 200 employees.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many people do you guys get that come through there? Do you keep track of those numbers?
Yeah, of course. Our average year is about 20,000 people.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
that's crazy.
Our year is like a month.
Right.
So, but we're
that's awesome.
Yeah, and we're trying to grow that also. So we've got kind of a unique thing happening where we're in Chicagoland, but the landscape of haunts in Chicagoland is very different than what we have. So Northwest Indiana is like a unique kind of place for haunted houses. Chicago itself is like the most densely populated location for professional haunted houses in like the world. There's other like states that have more. Ohio actually has like the most haunted houses in total, but that's over like the whole state. In Chicago alone, you've got like 15 mega haunts. Hell's Gate is probably like the top one. They're actually owned by Zombie Army, who used to produce Statesville. They also produced the haunted house, owned and produced the haunted house. If you remember from a few years ago, I think it was like 2014, that the haunted house at Navy Pier sank. Yeah, that was also his show. Now they own Hell's Gate. There's also 2 haunted houses there that are owned by this mega haunted house company called the 13th Floor Entertainment Group.
Yeah.
Okay, I've heard of that. Yeah,
so
I've
you've
seen
got,
advertisements
they
on
have the 13th floor. They also own, well, I don't know if they own it because I don't know how the ownership like rights go, but they operate the old Joliet prison. And they're like a mega haunt. They own like 30 haunted houses across America or something like that, all over the country. They're kind of the only ones that are like that. That there's a few people that own 2 or 3, but there's only one group that owns that many haunts spread around the whole country. So
how long does it take you guys to set up to where, like, I'm talking about like ground level up. So like you haven't done any preparation.
Sure.
The year's starting up. You know, you're about to get ready and to come to your peak season. Like, all right, this is how much time we need.
Yeah.
When does that clock start for you guys?
I mean, we really never stop.
So it is year round.
Yeah, absolutely. We that happened like once you're outside, this stuff's just not meant to be outside like that. Especially all the stuff that we constructed it inside. So we built, it's basically a theater set. So we built it out of 2x4s and plywood, but it's not treated to be outside. Now everything I build is treated to be outside, but all the old stuff like is quickly falling apart and has to be tore down, thrown away, and replaced because Northwest Indiana has crazy weather. We experience every extreme from heat and dry to humidity and damp and freezing cold ice storms. So
we know all about that.
Yeah, for real.
we do.
All the outside stuff is just, it's constantly like, check it out, what needs to be fixed, what needs to be updated. So it's not just about like update the quality of the show by constructing new scenes or new elements. It's also about I have to fix and maintain what we already have. So it's literally nonstop out there.
Do you guys change every year?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to ask you. So like, are you guys inspired by film? Like, is there film like areas of the haunted house? Like, oh, this would be like, no? Okay.
No, so I don't take anything from any movies or anything like that. What I do is, and like a lot of haunted houses do, we choose not to. I'm a storyteller. So when you come on to our property, you take a bus from the water park. It's about a half mile. And then you get dropped off. When you get dropped off, the story starts right there. So you're getting dropped off in the town of Hills Hollow. Hills Hollow is 1950s kind of company town. Then all the haunted houses and everything is a story that's happening inside of Hills Hollow. Our kind of big bad that we have, a lot of haunted houses have like a main bad guy. It could be like the devil or some evil demon or a vampire. Ours is actually kind of unique, and I don't know of another haunt that has it. We've got like a corporation that is our main bad guy. It's the Truman Corp. So the Truman Corp is like Amazon and Google and Walmart all piled into one giant kind of company. Whatever haunted house you like I'm doing, they have some element in it, and they've come and just done their evil stuff all to it. So when you're on property, you've got all kinds of stuff, because I call it our lore, and our lore goes back thousands of years. So like a meteor striking and creating a lake and all kinds of stuff then goes to theirs. And these all have to do with like haunted houses that I have planned, that I might not have built yet, but I've planned them. So if I'm going to put in a miner, well, it might be one prop, but if it's a miner, it's eventually going to tie into whatever that mine haunted house is. So to me, if I write Hills Hollow Mining Co. on a sign outside just as a prop, eventually that Hills Hollow Mining Co. is going to be a story. It's going to have a haunted house, some foreman who started it, who worked there, what went wrong, what did they find, what did the Truman Corp do when they showed up. So like there's way deeper than I don't need movie characters pretty much.
Yeah. Is there a tour guide? So you mentioned that when the people go to Haunted Hills,
mm-hmm.
they have to go to Deep River.
Yeah.
And they park in Deep River's parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then Haunted Hills bus comes and grabs them.
Yeah. So it's not a Haunted Hills bus. It's just like a school bus that we've rented from one of these shuttle bus companies. But yeah, so you'll park over there. Over there, we've got our security check, because we wand everybody, check everything, because we don't want any weapons in. That's mostly. It also keeps people from bringing like outside alcohol and drugs and things that just make for ultimately not a good time on the property. But yeah, then you climb on a bus, we drive you over, and then we drop you off. And then when you head back, you have to climb on that same bus. It takes you back. So once you're on property, like there's no one that's coming out and like reading you the story. It's a different kind of like storytelling. It's called like guerrilla theater. So it's kind of like watching a play, but you're actually experiencing a play and you're playing an active role in the story. So it's a question that we've had to answer for all of our haunted houses is, what is the audience's role in the haunted house? Because none of them are a group of people walking through a haunted house. That's not their role. And the reason that is because it like influences the design. So if I say, like our main Haunted Hills Hospital is essentially it's like an asylum haunted house. And we used to have it, and in all this I've learned, no one like taught me this. It just came through problem solving of what we do. But when you enter, you're entering as a new group of patients going in. All right. That's what you play. Now, if you're a new group of patients and this place is still operating, why would everything be covered in moss and like the ceiling caved in and like it's abandoned? Like there's people here still working. There's a level of rot that shouldn't exist unless I'm able to explain it. You know, this is an abandoned ward or whatever. It just influences everything. You're not going to have a zombie apocalypse looking haunt in a place that's brand new. Like, so it kind of inspires that. Now, our other haunt, the Sick Billy Sideshow, is taking place inside of an abandoned amusement park. So you don't even enter the amusement park to start. You have to find it. So we hand each group a flashlight, ones that we've created, because that's a prop too. So it doesn't look like a mag light or something. We've actually made in-house, and we can actually, I don't use this, but I make them and sell them to other haunted houses. We can actually control the flashlights with like remotes, and we've done haunted houses where we'll like it's a blackout haunt, so this flashlight's your only light, and I'll turn your flashlight off.
Right.
Or change its color or whatever I want to do, or make it go like super dim or super bright, stuff like that. But we hand each group a flashlight, and they look like those old 80s like super big flashlights and stuff that you see in like Stranger Things and stuff.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so each group has one, and the reason is because you're going in to this haunted house and you have to find the abandoned amusement park, because I don't want to tell you it's an abandoned amusement park and it's all this stuff, and it's like, but I see it, it's right there, and you can see it from our midway. No. What you see is a covered bridge, and you have to go across a covered bridge that also looks all abandoned, and you're seeing abandoned advertisements and all kinds of stuff. You have to enter the woods, and you're going down the old abandoned path, and you have to find Astro Island before you get to go into Astro Island. So like, that's our haunt that we're actually wrapping up right now. That's our brand new haunt for this year. So the story of that haunt, and it's, again, there's a lot of elements. So I even advertise like our own haunted houses on our property, because our property is very, very different than any other haunted house that I've heard of. And I'll explain that. But we have a midway, a scare zone, and what we call our town square, because you're in Hills Hollow. And each of those has, so like our midway has like a ton of vendors in it, like food vendors and craft vendors and like fortune tellers and all kinds of stuff. And then our town square has like games in it, like axe throwing and a pumpkin cannon and all that stuff. Our scare zone is like an interactive scare zone. We've got loads of actors in there. The entire purpose of that area is to give you a place to run away from actors. I've got actors walking on stilts. I've got actors that are sliding on knee pads and spark gloves. I've got actors who are breathing fire. All that stuff happens out there. It's a whole like interactive space. So in all those areas, we've created like posters that are advertising the Vile Brothers Circus of Sin, which is a show ran by one of our main characters. His name is Jax, the clown. And it says it's happening in the Big Top inside Astro Island. Well, when you talk to like our townspeople, they're like, this poster doesn't make any sense. Astro Island's been closed for 50 years. So how could there be a show in there tonight? Then when you go in, you're playing the role of a group of kids or a group of like townspeople that are sneaking in to see what this show's all about. And you're going through an abandoned amusement park. On top of that, some of the characters that you see inside aren't necessarily like killers and clowns and stuff. They're playing like townspeople. So you see other like 1950s kids that are jumping out to scare you, but instead of saying, I'm going to cut your face off, they're like, where's my friends? I can't find Jeremy. Like, and that's the scare. It's still a jump scare, but it's a different element. And they're showing you like, we were going there too, and my friends are kind of disappearing. And early in the show, I'm implying that things are not what they seem. You'll see like a police officer, and of course, like they all have on costumes that are all branded. So like our teenagers, we've made like Letterman jackets that have like Hills Hollow High on them.
Right.
We've got police officers. Now, like, this is where I'll take movies that I love. And like, for example, I'll never put Michael Myers into our haunt, but I love Halloween. It's like my favorite movie. So what I've done is I've modeled our police jackets off of the Haddonfield cops. So they've got like those green like bomber jackets, and then I put like badges on them that say Hills Hollow PD and all that stuff. And you'll see like cops in there that are like, you're not supposed to be here and all that stuff. And then like later on in the haunt, what stuff pops off, you see like that cop that you saw earlier is now dead on the table, and he got too. So
nice.
It's this whole like evolving kind of story that unfolds as you go through it. And the goal is to tell you a story and scare you while I do it, not just jump out.
Right.
It's way, way more than that. So like our haunt, what haunted houses used to be in the 80s and 90s was put up a bunch of black walls, go by whatever movie is popular this year. Okay, so this year Candyman came out, so we got to have a bathroom scene and a guy that has a hook hand.
Right.
This year, Chucky came out, so we're going to do a bedroom, and I'm going to dress up my kid with scars on his faces and have him say, want to play, and all this stuff. That's just not how we do it. We've got a deep kind of story that you can get involved with, and then it builds something better for our cast as well as our audience, because there's something to put your teeth into and get to kind of learn, and there's aha moments, and I see what's happening here, and you get to experience it because my actors, they're all trained on improv acting. So they're taught that every day you have a goal. Okay, what's your goal? And your job is to try to achieve that goal. So, for example, in our main haunt, we have a whole bunch of patients, and all night long, I tell all of them, have a goal, have something that you want or something that you want to achieve, and it doesn't matter what it actually is. It's just going to inform some of the stuff that you do. So that could be, I love rubber ducks. Like, it doesn't have to be, I want to skin everyone who walks in here. It could just be, I love rubber ducks. And then, everyone who walks through, this guy's asking, like, did you bring me a duck? Did you bring me a duck? And like, what happens when you finally have like the lady who walks through for whatever reason has a rubber duck in her purse and pulls it out and says, here, I brought you this. Oh my God, you finally made it. I finally got one. Now, like, the show that lady gets is very different. Her group gets a whole thing. When they leave, they're not saying, oh yeah, and there was a Michael and there was a Pinhead, and they're going to say, and the duck guy, and they're like, oh my God, you had that duck and all this. And now they have something to talk about.
Yeah.
And now they've created an experience. It's a unique element that exists only in our haunt. And it's way more fun for the audience. No one's walking away or is impressed by another Michael Myers in a haunted house.
How long is the entire experience? So, like, you're going to go through the house,
right?
You get dropped off. Like, what is the expected time,
right,
that you would go through that entire experience?
The easy answer is that I've got 3 haunted houses. One of them takes about a half hour to walk through. One of them takes about 15 minutes. The other one takes like between 12 and 15 minutes, just depending on how slow we are or how fast I'm running groups through. The harder answer, which is honestly the honest answer, is that question is designed for other haunted houses, because other haunted houses, what you do is you show up on property, immediately go grab tickets, and then jump in line. And then you're going to stand in line for an hour, 2 hours, whatever, while some people walk around and scare you, and you're going to go back and forth in these lines, and you're going to get into a fight with the people ahead of you or the people behind you because they're creeping up on you or whatever. We don't have that. So what we have is called a virtual queue. So when you show up on property, we take a phone number, and then you have to wait. But for one, you're in line for all 3 haunted houses at one time. And 2, while you wait, instead of standing in that line, you're free to go do whatever you want to do. If you want to eat, if you want to play games, if you want to check out our arcade, if you want to sit around our bonfire, sit and watch movies on our giant projector screen, go do that. Have a great time. And I'll send you a text message, and then you go right in the haunt.
So okay. So this is all going on inside that circle you explained before the houses, before you actually go through the haunt there. So it's like a community type thing. Are there local vendors? Is that who attends this? Yeah. So it's like people who do stuff in it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Same vendors, different. I would imagine, since you've been with since the beginning, or you get
No, actually, so that was one of our problems. Like, for us, COVID, the changes we had to make because of COVID were like a huge blessing. So, and it was like it came out of nowhere. We closed 2019, and when we closed, we had a huge whiteboard in our office, and I like wrote up on that board. I said, here's our problems that I see. We don't have a large enough footprint on social media. I don't see people posting enough pictures, because I'm a Q actor. I also act outside every night. So I would not put my cast out there and say, all right, you guys go make us a bunch of money and I'm going to be in the office. No. I'm out there doing the job. I play Jax. So I'm also like the front man of this band while also managing everyone with our team. So I have to be on every night. So what I wrote was, I know I'm taking hundreds of pictures every single night. I'm not seeing hundreds of pictures being posted. I know I'm taking tons of videos of the cool stuff that's happening out here. I'm not seeing those pictures online. On top of that, I'm also seeing, I'll see people post our pictures. I'll find them just organically. And then in the comments, people are going, oh, this is Reaper's Realm. Oh, this is the 13th floor. This is Midnight Terror. And I'm not knocking those guys, but that's my picture. I want the credit. I don't want you guys, like, I put in the work. That's my audience. That's my stuff. So if that's going to be promotion, I want it to promote us. So that was another problem. And then also, it was like every year I had to find new vendors because my vendors were not making any money. We had like our own merch booth, a 5-minute escape room. And I'd talk to like my other colleagues in the industry and they'd say like, yeah, we've got, 300 people going through our escape room every night. And I'd go check, hey, how's our escape room doing? Oh, we did like 5 people tonight. And I'm like, 5 people, dude, what the hell?
Yeah.
Why isn't this working? So I started watching our audience, and our audience would show up, immediately grab tickets, immediately jump in line, wait in line, don't leave line even to use the bathroom because you don't want to lose your spot in line. And then by the time you come out of the haunted house, why do I want to pay $8 for a hot dog? Wendy's is right up the road and I'm headed that way. There's restaurants over there. Like, I'm not eating here. And I've been here for 3 hours now, even though the haunted house only took 45 minutes. I don't want to do 5-minute escape room. No, I don't need a t-shirt. Like, I'm just ready to go. They're exhausted of this experience. So COVID brought about, I can't have 1,000 people standing in a block in a huge group of people. So we have to figure something out. So we brought in that virtual queue, and it was like a light switch that just solved all those problems, because now they still have to wait, but instead of just standing around, they're going to go and do stuff. They're going to go buy food because they have time. They're going to go play our games because they have time. It's not that they didn't want to do it. They were just ready to leave. Now they just got here. Let's have fun. And then they go and do things. They're having a great time. And it helped out all our vendors. So after that, I had like the same vendors for a long time. And yeah, now I've had vendors that have been there for 7 years ever since we made that change. So, or something.
How do you reserve their spots in line? So if they come there and they're in line, and then they can go out and purchase stuff or eat or whatever, watch movies, all that stuff. So how is their spot reserved?
We have a digital platform called HauntPay that we run all the information through. So you give us a phone number, we enter you. It's all set up
and
with
then
our
just
queues
text
and
them
stuff.
whenever you're ready.
Yeah. Then at the front of every house, my people have an iPad, and it's just as easy as everyone's in line. You get entered in that, click the next people, hit call, and the text message just automatically sends out.
What movies do you guys play?
All kinds of free stuff, old stuff, so that we don't get any flack. So Night of the Living Dead, because the copyright's screwed up on that, so it's free. There's old stuff. A few years ago, I found that I was doing too much of, let me look at what the other guys are doing. Okay, that I want to succeed. I need to do that too. And then I found that I was constantly chasing. And I just said, let's just build the place that we would want to be. Let's just, what would we want in a haunted house? Let's make that. And that's what I've been doing. So I took every element that I want. I have a fire pit. I don't have a fire pit because people are cold. There are better ways to warm up a crowd. I have a fire pit because I want the smell of smoke in the air. That to me is an element of fall that I want. My goal is to create the ultimate fall night experience. It's kind of funny that you're playing The Lost Boys because it's a huge inspiration to my outside environment. That whole scene at the start where it's like the super like buff guy that's playing like a saxophone, and
That's
like,
the best part of the movie.
I know it, dude.
Yeah.
But all
I still believe.
yeah,
That's my jam.
all the kids are around, they're dancing, there's bonfires, there's rides and games. That mood is what I'm trying to create. Plus Halloween.
You know, they still do this every year in California at the old pier here. They still they bring it out on the beach and they show
That's
it.
awesome.
Yeah, and people can go and see the sights and shit from when it was filmed. It's pretty
That's
dope.
awesome.
Yeah, I love the Lost Boys.
Mhm.
One of the classics of the 80s for sure.
Absolutely. So yeah, every element that I add is about creating that ultimate Halloween experience. I have apple cider. Not because I'm like, oh, I'm going to make so much off apple cider. I sell it for like $1, dude. I just want people to have hot apple cider around a bonfire with their kids and families. That is important to me. It is important to me to play scary movies outside. I don't charge for them. Just go have a seat and enjoy this while you wait. We do an event called Fall Fest. Essentially what it is, it's on our haunt nights, but it happens in the daytime from 11 a.m. till 3 p.m. And it started out as trick-or-treating through the haunted house, just for kids. We only charge $5 a person. And what it is a huge Halloween festival. We bring out a live band. This year we've got Party Foul. They came out last year and they were a huge hit, so we got them on again. I've got a guy that's out there doing like free magic shows. I'm out there eating glass and breathing fire and all that stuff. And that's all free. Well, I mean, it costs $5 to get in, then all that stuff's included. So, and then we do trick-or-treating. We moved the trick-or-treating from in the haunt to outside in like our midway to benefit our vendors, because we used to charge like $5. Then it was just to cover the cost of candy. But it was like, man, I can't really provide a lot of candy for $5. And I don't like that. Again, I'm doing this for the trick-or-treating, but I can't invest a bunch of money either. I don't have it. So, I mean, as the haunted house, as the Halloween kind of people, I want kids walking out with a bag of candy.
Right.
But it was like, I can't do it for $5. Or like, I can, but you're getting 100 like dum-dums. Yeah. And then like kids are like, this candy sucks.
Yeah, right.
So instead we started bringing on like local sponsors and vendors. I don't charge them anything. I tell them all it costs candy for kids. That's all you have to bring. You get to promote your business, bring candy,
right.
Then the kids get loads of candy and everyone's happy.
How do we get involved in that?
Simply tell me you want to do it.
Well, yeah, we want to do that.
Yeah.
We would love to put together like little treat bags or something like that for the kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wear
Absolutely.
my twisty mask and everything.
I'll shoot you an application.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just because then I have it down and we can
100%. Yeah, we want to get involved.
Yeah. And it's
also, can we go back though real quick? Because I know you just casually walked over the fact you said you're going to chew glass.
Yeah, that's what
I'm going to go ahead and bring you back to that now.
I wanted to ask that too.
So you're going to chew glass
and swallow it.
You must have some good insurance, man, because eating glass is probably
it's tough.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, and then you spit fire out. So the whole fire. When you said it earlier, you know what it reminded me of when you were talking. You were like, "We got people on stilts, and we're doing, blowing fire and shit." I was thinking of Batman Returns.
Yeah,
when they come out of the Christmas tree.
It's kind of like that. Yeah. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah,
that is amazing. And when is your media night that you were talking about?
So that's our media night is not open to the public, but it's
sorry for you.
Yeah, it's on September 20th. It's only open. So we started for years and years. We've always done our like dress rehearsal, get everyone out, throw costumes on, and now's the time we're going to turn the show on, because our actors go through a month of training every year. So before the haunted house opens, this isn't show up that night and I'm going to show you how to scare people. No. You're going through training classes, like more training than I've went through for any job, because it's every weekend throughout the month of September. So we've got our auditions always happen the weekend before Labor Day. That's always our audition week. And in auditions, a lot of people get like scared of it because I say auditions. I'm just looking for you to act really stupid, because if you take away the costumes and the masks and the haunted house and look at what we're doing, like we just look really dumb, like jumping around it in a field. And if you can do that, I can make you a great scarer. The greatest hurdle for an actor is like in a haunted house is like what you're doing feels really, really weird. You have to go, and sometimes the scare is not going to hit. And unfortunately, if we're going to be the best haunted house, you can't jump out and scare and they go, yeah, you suck. You go, yeah, I know, and just go back in your hole and be like, I hate this job. That's not going to work. You got to know what you're doing. You got to be a professional. There's no such thing as an off night. So we go through a month of training. At auditions, we just give you an improv thing, or we just ask you to do something really stupid and just show us that you're willing to look dumb. Because if you are willing to look dumb, you'll be the best scare actor ever. I scare people with no one in the haunt because the construction is made to do that, but let me empower you. I can't empower you if you won't give me anything. Then from there, they go through our actor classes. So there's a whole day of actor classes. I start with movement. So my whole thing is I have to teach these actors to move like a monster. Because when you walk into a haunted house room, especially one like ours, you're not walking in and stopping in a room and then I put on a 3-minute play and then you move on to the next one. That's not how it works. You've got like 3 to 5 seconds to convey a story and a goal to the audience. So you have to do that through movement. If you're a vampire, I have to teach you how to move like a vampire. So by moving through a space and having a look, the audience automatically knows that's a vampire. I can't have you standing in a room going, hi, I'm a doctor. This is what I want. Here's how I do it. Please, this, and this. You don't have time. And that's lame. So I'm going to teach you how to convey a goal, a character, your relationship to other kinds of characters. Like explained, if you look at like Count Dracula in his castle, how he walks through, when he comes into a room and he says, welcome to my home, that tells you like he probably owns this place. He probably runs this house.
Right.
Now, if you take like an Igor hunched over, all hobbling and stuff, and he says, welcome to my home. He probably doesn't own that house. Like he lives here, but like he's not making choices. It's the same line. Nothing changed about the dialogue or like what I told you, but just based on your stance, your body language, your posture, tells you something very different about what this character is and what he might do in relation to the rest of the story. So that's just one class. Then we go through an improv class. We go through a whole bunch of exercises that we've created in-house, teaching you how to actually scare people, because a lot of people just don't know how to scare people. So I have to teach people. I call it the scare pose. I also have to like teach them how to like retreat into a scare hole, because you don't want, the last thing you want your audience to think when they're in a haunted house is, I'm in a haunted house. That's not what you want them to think ever. You want them to be in the story. So you don't want people to think he's trying to scare me. So like what I teach my cast, it's kind of a mantra. I call it scare, retreat, repeat. I'll go into this in a second, but when you come out and scare, you're scaring like to the front. You don't just then turn around and walk back into your hole. You got to retreat away while also scaring. Because if you're a werewolf, you're not going to, and then just turn around and walk off. Mm-hmm. Like you got to be a werewolf, but also get away from the audience. Because otherwise you're just standing in a room waiting for them to leave. And that's super weird. So scare, retreat, and then repeat. Because we know how a group works in a haunted house. People, for some reason, people think that haunted house owners don't know that the scared people stand in the middle. We do. We super know that you stand in the middle. So we always explain it as like an Oreo. The front is the really hard guy because he's leading you into the unknown, leading you into darkness. The back is another hard guy. The front we call the rock. The back we call the anchor. And the anchor is always followed by darkness. Anything that we've experienced could come after me again because I'm in the back. Those people in middle, that's your sweet cream. They're soft and they're easy to scare. So we always try to hit that middle. We use creative ways. You're not going to jump scare the rock or the anchor. You put a big guy in the front or back, you're not going to jump scare them. They're expecting it. So it takes skill and finesse to get those people. But if you can drop the rock or drop the anchor, that whole group is going to be terrified, climbing over themselves, trying to get out of the room. It
reminds me of the way you explain it. I just keep thinking of like Monsters Inc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was thinking about that too.
Yeah. Go through that process like you're like Mike Sully. Like that's awesome.
Man, you have a lot of passion in this. I could tell.
Oh yeah, I mean it's beyond passion.
17
it's like
years.
Man,
addiction.
Yeah.
So
But that Oreo, going back to the Oreo, man, I'm getting hungry for it.
you like Oreos?
But it's fun how just you run a completely different type of business, and then like how you break it down and analyze it. It's cool because in all businesses, especially as a business owner, we have to evaluate our clientele and stuff like that. And it's just cool to hear how you guys evaluate yours as well. Yeah. And that it goes year round, because I figured that it went well past and well before Halloween, but I had no idea that it went like all year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, that's so prepping the haunted house, all that stuff, it does go all year. We also have, so like, this is a great point. So for a long time, we struggled with getting our numbers up. We had a good haunted house, and then we couldn't figure out the advertising. We couldn't figure out, how do I get more people to come to this haunted house? We just couldn't kind of grasp that. So I started analyzing everything, and I came up with this. I'm sure I'm not the first one to come up with this, but I like developed this idea on my own. I'm sure there's some theory in a book that they teach you in business school, but what I've essentially come up with is, in any business, not just haunted houses, any type of business, there's two ways to make more money. You either increase the amount that someone spends on your product, or you increase the amount of users that use your product. Now, haunted houses, every time we talk to haunted houses and they talk about making more money, all they're concerned about is the gate. How do I get more people through my haunted house? We realized I can't figure that out yet. And a part of it seems to be spend more money that I don't have. So we started attacking that other route. If I'm doing 10,000 people and they're all spending $10, I made $100,000. If I can do 5,000 people and I get them all to spend $20,000, my bottom line's the same, and I had 5,000 less potential problems. So we started attacking that and started putting a lot more into our haunted house, or into the experience. That's where the axe throwing, the head toss, the archery, gel blaster field, our pumpkin cannon, our high striker, our vendors, all that other stuff, that's where that all comes from, is us trying to, we know we're going to do X amount of people. Let me try to get them to spend more money on our product because the other way that haunted houses always try to get people to spend extra money is, well, I'll just raise our box office. Well, people don't want to spend that much to get into your haunted house, because they're not thinking about, when I'm there, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z else. They're just thinking, well, there's this haunt over here that's $15, and there's this haunt over here that's $90. I don't know if it's going to be $80 much better than this haunted house over here, so I'll just go to this haunt over here. We didn't want to keep raising our price, because we would go to haunted houses and walk through and be like, really? Like $35? That's what I got? So we didn't want that experience from our audience. So we started adding things so that they would spend more money on property. One of the things that we've done was we took our gift shop, which forever we just sold like our t-shirts and shot glasses and hoodies and that stuff, and we turned it into a full like retail horror store. So anything we can find that is horror themed, and our horror store has movie stuff, everything that's licensed. We have autographs in there that you can buy.
Nice.
We have like collectors kind of like masks and stuff, all licensed. Everything you could possibly want that's licensed or horror. If you're a horror fan, you should be checking it out, because it is, as a horror fan myself, I love everything that we have in our shop, and like I have to keep myself from like going and just buying all of our stuff. But we started opening that every weekend, and now, I mean, it's open every night of our haunted house, but it's also open every weekend throughout the whole year. It's on property. We call it Wicked Wonders. And we've got like a rotating kind of stock. There's constantly new stuff coming in, along with the other half of our business is our production house. We call it Haunted Hills Productions. So we started this like 7 years ago. And essentially it started because I wanted stuff for our haunted houses and I didn't have any money to buy it. So I found out there's a whole bunch of videos where people show you how to make stuff like masks and all these things, and you can make them for cheaper than you can buy them. Sweat equity is something that we have a lot of. So we've always been like, I might not be able to pay for it, but I can sweat for it. So we started to produce a bunch of masks. Then we started to make costumes. There's a trade show that happens every March in St. Louis. It's called the Trans World Halloween and Attraction Show. It is the haunted house trade show in the world. It's a massive trade show. It takes place at the America's Center, which is one of the largest like convention places in North America. And it takes up the whole floor. I mean, it is an odyssey just to see this show, that you have vendors that sell everything. You have whole vendors that their entire company is all they sell is prop blood. Whole vendors that all they sell are hands and body parts and costumes and all this stuff. And it's just hundreds of thousands of square feet of these booths, man. That's
awesome.
Yeah. And they're all artists because no one is there just mass producing stuff from China. So when you go to a booth, you're meeting the guy who
that's making it,
sculpted that.
Sculpted.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So now that's our business as well. So we started that about 7 years ago, and it has just grown and grown and grown. We're doing business with, I mean, every theme park except for Disney, because they make their own stuff. We're selling stuff to Halloween Horror Nights. We're selling stuff to, I mean, like Halloween Horror Nights order goes out like next week. The other day we got an order from Hershey.
We just got back from Halloween Horror Nights. Last year we went there. I went to Orlando. I was at Universal for Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah.
So great time.
Then that's like kind of like a dream come true. Like it's been a crazy ride because like I grew up watching like YouTube videos of certain people in the industry, Alan Hops and John LaFlamboy, who owns Hell's Gate. Now, like those guys call me on my birthday. Like that's wild. Like you start out at 12 watching some dude's YouTube channel who lives in Texas. You never think you'd meet this guy, and now he like has your phone number. That's insane. I started out watching promotional videos for Halloween Horror Nights of Jack the Clown and all this other stuff. Now there's YouTube videos. One of like my favorite ones, I guess I'm biased, but the whole promo was for the Terror Tram in Hollywood, and all that's in that video is my masks and characters from Jordan Peele's Us. And that's super sick. And it's masks that I sculpted, I poured, I painted. With it being in Hollywood too, and on the Terror Tram, my masks are being used in the Bates Motel.
Oh, no way.
The real one. Like, so if you start a timeline of horror, Psycho's in there somewhere.
Yeah, 60s.
Somewhere down that line is my masks going into that hotel, into that Bates house, all that stuff. That to me is really cool. And I mean, at this point, we're selling props, masks, props, costumes, and bodies, animatronics. I mean, we just shipped a pallet of animatronic props to England. We ship stuff to China, Australia. I mean, like every country, it's constant, and we're getting orders in constantly from huge.
You guys
huge
make
parks.
animatronic props?
Yeah,
like of movie characters?
No, all our own stuff.
Yeah, original stuff.
Yeah, everything's original. I don't get involved in like the movie stuff. I know there's a market, but for one, that is like a license that they would come down on.
Right.
For sure.
But two, collectors of that stuff are like, I'm not that good at sculpting to sit there and recreate, well, this is Michael from 10 minutes and 36 seconds of Halloween 4. Like, I'm not that good. So.
Well, I collect animatronics. That's why I asked. So my basement looks like a museum, but I have I have a Halloween Curse of Michael animatronic. I have the Mars Attacks. I got a 7-foot Krampus. Yeah. 7.5-foot Leatherface from the 74 Massacre. Yeah. I have Terrifier and the Pale-Face Girl. I got quite a few of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Like ours. So those ones, I'm guessing they all probably came from like the
Party City
Halloween store, yeah.
Spirit Halloween.
Yeah. So, and those are cool for sure for like fans. Ours are built, they're like largely made out of plastic though. Maybe some thin kind of metal in there. Ours are made for haunted houses. So they're like the industrial kind of version of, but like instead of putting plastic in there, we're using like 1-inch square tubing through all of it and welded metal and high end like electronic, essentially like programmable computers that we put in. They're all ran off of air power, so they're pretty violent also. But that's what haunted houses want: super violent recreations of things that they can't have an actor do. Like we made one. So this year, 2025, was actually like our first year as an animatronic company. We made, I think, 3 of them last year just to see, let's start to get into this. And this year at the trade show, we actually brought a whole new booth of animatronic props and made a whole bunch of stuff. It's went great. We've sold almost everything, and we're bringing even more to that show for next year. But they want crazy things that they've never seen. So we made a guy that's like tied to a chair and he's got like a shotgun in his mouth and shoots himself in the head and then goes crazy about it. Yeah, we made a dude that he's like, it's almost like a trap from like Saw or something. Like the guy's like tied to a chair and he's screaming and there's a claw on his head that slowly like rips his head off, and then the claw like flings the head out a whole bunch of times as he's screaming and stuff. And yeah, a whole bunch of just crazy props. So, and that was like our first year into animatronics and stuff. And like I said, we've sold all of them. So it's been pretty good.
I'm excited to go try this. Like we have to go.
We're gonna go.
We have to go. We got to go as a group or something, or a team thing.
We said with the media night, it would be nice to go there. And Revens is actually terrified of haunted houses, so it'd be nice to go and GoPro everybody, and then we walk through there and do the whole thing. That'd be cool. Showcase the environment, and then all the people you have working there. It'd be awesome to go around and see all that stuff and get into character with them and grab some cool content. So you could do a lot of videos.
Absolutely.
With that stuff, man. You can do a shit ton of marketing. Imagine a drone like during your peak, like you're going on and you like bring a drone over the whole thing so you could see the lines of people, all that. Yeah, it would be so cool.
Yeah, ours, and that's what's kind of cool about ours is like, it's like go watch, if you've ever seen the movie Hellfest. I know it's like a slasher that came out. It wasn't a huge hit. I think it came out in like, I don't know, 2018 or something. But there's a part where they show up at Hellfest. It's about these kids that go to like a haunted amusement park thing. And there's all these haunted houses, and then some guy's in there and he's an actual killer and starts slashing everybody. But there's a part where they show up at the park and it shows like an aerial shot. It's like, that's what our haunted house is like. And I've like modeled it off of that because that's what I want. I want Scooby-Doo, like Spooky Island. Like that's where you're going. So like, our music outside, it's like a club. It's like I'm playing is like scary, like EDM and dance music and all kinds of stuff because I want this jumping, like it's a party outside. It's not, spooky graveyard noises and stuff. Like it's a show. And that's what we do. I mean, we've kind of prided ourselves on that forever. Like we're not going to be the Haunted Mansion. We're going to be, you went to a haunted house at a Slipknot show. So we've got flame cannons that are shooting 6-foot flames up into the sky all night long. We've got roaming like lights and a giant Frankenstein on the roof and giant ghosts that are inflating and pumpkins. And I mean, there's just stuff everywhere. So yeah, it's like going to a whole Halloween festival. But there's also a whole bunch of scary actors outside.
So when do you officially open up to the public?
September 26th.
Is the public okay? And then how do they go about getting tickets? How do they find you? Where do they go?
So they can either go online to hauntedhillshauntedattractions.com, and then right on top of that page, there's a link. Get your tickets online, or you can come. We have them on site. Same thing. You can just buy them online.
Is there a price difference or anything like that?
No,
that's all the same price.
It's all the same price.
Some people, how some places do that.
Yeah.
Buy them online, get a better deal.
Yeah. No, it just gets you in quicker. if you buy them online. So yeah.
Oh yeah, less of wait, I would imagine. Yeah, because
Yeah.
everybody's going to go there and try to buy them in person.
Yeah, that's the only spot that we have like a line. You got to wait in line for like security, wait in line to get on that bus, and then wait in line to actually get your tickets. But once you're inside, it's just roam around and have a great time. So,
what kind of vendors are you talking about in there though? Like,
yeah, so we've got we cut down on the vendors that have food to make sure that the food vendors are all going to make enough money. Because people are just going to eat once. They're not going to eat at every vendor. So we've got our own booth. We call it Freaky Treats. And what I do there, so there's a term in entertainment, especially now, essentially ever since like 2018, once cell phones and social media started getting crazy, there's a term, it's called experience economy. And what this means is like, it doesn't matter if you have the best haunted house in the world, and this goes for other stuff too. It matters how many great pictures you can take at this haunted house. So for us, everything we have has to be an experience. So if you're going to buy some food from our booth, you can just get a hot dog, or you can get our hot dog that has that has cheese on it.
No, dude. This is believe me, if you go back and listen to some of the episodes, you're like, holy shit, these guys said what on there? Like, we're ridiculous.
But it's like, you're going to get like a theme park snack, an exclusive item. You're not going to find it at a fair. We've created it. You're going to get a bunch of mini donuts that are like pumpkin spice, but they've got Valpo velvet ice cream. We've put marshmallow fluff and Halloween sprinkles and drizzles and all kinds of stuff to make these exclusive items that you can only come and get at our haunt.
Shout out Valpo Velvet, by the way. Yeah, I live in Valpo, so I'm familiar.
Well, that was our thing. We could have ice cream, or I've got an awesome like ice cream factory right here. Let's do Valpo Velvet. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. Our other vendors, we have one called Hope Key Foods. He sells like elephant ears and fried Oreos, different kind of fried things, lots of sweets. And then we just brought on Heartland Foods, and they're taking care of essentially like the actual food items. We just brought them on, so I don't know exactly what like the menu is yet, but when I asked them like, what do you sell? They said, essentially they sell everything you've ever seen at a fair. I told them that I want them to, like, I've got we're selling novelty stuff. That dude's selling sweets. Yeah. Take care of my like actual, I want to eat items.
Right.
So they're taking care of that. But apart from that, we've got loads of other vendors. We've got caricature artists. We've got people that are selling crystals. We've got people that are reading tarot cards. We've got magicians. We've got people that are selling artwork, selling blankets, selling all kinds of stuff. So there's a lot. I think we've got like 28 different vendors or something.
Nice.
Something like that. Yeah, they sell bath bombs and soaps, and again, they make like exclusive ones because they've done our event for a long time, so they make ones that are like named after our characters. I think there's like a Jack's bath bomb, and it turns your water like red because he's a clown and stuff, and all kinds of cool stuff like that. So, and then of course you've got our whole retail shop, which also acts as like a vendor because we've just got tons of stuff. And then next to that, we also, I think arcades are awesome. So I reached out to some guys I know, and they brought out, we've got a whole like vintage coin arcade as well. So again, if you just want to spend your time playing video games. Yeah.
That is awesome, man. It sounds like a great night to remember. Like,
well, that's why that
experience.
Yeah. That's why that question of how long is it is very hard for me to say, because it is a full night.
Yeah, if you want to soak it all in, you're going to be there for a while. Yeah.
You can get a fast pass and run through the haunts, but I truly think you're going to leave feeling like you missed out.
Right. And like you said, we're able to do all those things in there. We don't have to go right away into the haunt. Yeah, I mean, I would want to try all those.
Take your time.
I mean, I heard on the games. Yeah. I'm like, let's go do that.
You know, like.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, no, go have fun, dude. Nice. And then once you get that text, and like, so other haunts that are like a scream park, and like this again goes to like my experience. I've been to other haunts that are called a scream park, just like ours. But I don't like where they're like, we have 13 haunted houses, and you go into a haunt in the front, and then it goes haunted house, queue line, haunted house, queue line, haunted house, queue line. To me, that doesn't feel like 13 haunted houses. That feels like one giant haunted house, and you just broke it up with lines and changed themes. I like our version. You go through a haunted house, then it spits you back into our midway. So go through a haunt, and then if you want to grab a hot dog, chill out a bit, go do that.
And you go to the next one.
Go to the next one whenever you're ready to go, man.
So you don't really get kicked out of there or anything.
No,
like it's just
when it's time to close, then we go through our list and start asking everyone, "Hey, did you go through?" Like,
you better go.
At this point, do you guys usually close on a night?
So Fridays and Saturdays we close our box office at 11, and at 11 is when, like, usually we'll give it like an hour, because we say we close our box office. That's when we quit selling tickets.
Yeah, I mean, somebody could have bought them at 10:55. Yeah.
Right. And we don't like to turn those people away, because customer service to us is huge. We're a family business. We all still have day jobs. None of us are doing this full time. I mean, we do it full time, but it's not our only job.
Right.
So growing up out of our backyard, I mean, customer service is huge. It's not like I just have a bunch of money to be like, let me kick everyone out and be a royal jerk and all this stuff and I'll get more people. No, dude, we got to treat everyone how I'd want to be treated. So we have people that drive from 2 hours away and they're going to be there at 10:30.
Yep.
And I believe it doesn't matter if you got here at 7 o'clock or you got here at 11 o'clock, you should get the same show.
Yeah.
That's just how I work, and I teach our cast that. So don't wear yourself out in the first half hour. I appreciate that you're going hardcore, but you got to be able to play at minute 90 in our game the same you played it at the start.
Yep.
So that to me is important. But of course, every night has to end, and we hit a point where, all right, guys, I love that you're having fun, but we got to wrap this up. So
no, I enjoy hearing that. Like you're saying, like, people will travel for this.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's awesome. I love that feeling. When I used to have a little small restaurant.
Yeah.
People were driving an hour just to come eat some food with me, and I'm like, dude, you don't have to drive all the way over here to get some food.
Yeah.
That's the best feeling ever.
Yeah, and I mean, haunts, it's people will do that because, I mean, like a restaurant, right? How good can, like, a burger be? At a certain point,
I got a really good burger.
I'm sure. But at a certain point,
he does.
At a certain point,
my dad's seasoning, though, I'll give him that.
There you go. So at a certain point, you've topped off on how good your food can be.
Mm-hmm.
Should they fly across the country to come eat your food? I don't know. But when you go to a haunted house, largely you're going to see what one dude has made.
Yeah.
So you're getting something, you're getting a flavor that does not exist anywhere else. They're not using the same pasta sauce from GFS that the place right up the road is. You're getting a flavor of story and entertainment that you really cannot see somewhere else. So I'd say traveling 2 hours for a haunt, if you're a haunted house fan or you're a horror fan, I'd say I do it.
Yeah,
I do it. We go to haunted houses in Indianapolis all the time.
Nice.
And like Chicago, especially, I'd say the Chicagoland market essentially stretches from me. We're like the last one now, going east all the way up to like the northern suburbs, all the way up to like Dungeon of Doom. I don't know exactly like what city they're in, but I've never been there.
Mm-hmm.
So I know they're like probably an hour and a half to close to 2 hours. Like they're closer to like Wisconsin, I think. So yeah.
Man, that's awesome, dude. And I'm excited for part 2 of this. Is unfortunately we're going over the hour mark anyways. Sure. We got to wrap it up. But yeah, so one, we're going to be part of the fall thing that pass out candy to the kids. I think that would be huge. And we would love to do that, get costumes and everything. Absolutely. And then 2, you guys heard them. So September 26th, everybody better show out for Haunted Hills. And then the last thing was, is there anything else that people need to know about Haunted Hills before we sign off? Or is there anything that would that you got coming that maybe you want to leak on the Roof Trollz, let everybody know about or anything?
I mean, just we're opening it up this year. Absolutely. I believe is going to be the largest year we've ever had. It's moving to the new property. It has been, we've had to learn some things about having a haunted house outside, and it takes a while to build a world-class haunted house. It doesn't just come out year one. I think this year is that year where there's nothing that we have that I'm going, that's not right. It's not the best. So if you were ever going to come out, this year would be the year to come out and see our show. Like I said, even if you don't like scary stuff, our haunted house is age appropriate for everyone. I say it over and over again because this is like the question I get constantly is it okay for my 8-year-old? And like the answer is like, well, I don't know your kid. It would have been fine for me. It might not be fine for you and you're like 30, but it's not vulgar. It's not disgusting. It's not X-rated. It's a scary haunted house, but our goal is never to traumatize you. Our goal constantly is I'm going to scare you. You're going to scream. You're going to run 3 steps, and then you're going to turn around and laugh with your whole group. That's our intended goal with every scare. And then you're going to hear a great story. You're going to get some great times. I promise you nothing but a fantastic experience at our haunted house. So, and it's at a great price. And if you really don't like anything scary, come to our Fall Fest because there is nothing scary. We do in our haunted house, we do lights on guided tours to show you the artistry of our haunted house, how we build it, how we create everything. We give you trivia. For example, like the roach room, we hand glued over 2,000 cockroaches onto everything.
Real ones?
No.
Oh, that would have been great.
No.
Just crunchy everywhere. Like,
yeah. But you get stuff like that. But our Fall Fest, if you truly do not like scary stuff, come to our Fall Fest. It's only $5. We've got trick-or-treating for all the kids. We've got tons of entertainment, tons of food. And it is just a celebration of what we think is the greatest time of year in the greatest place to do it, Northwest Indiana. So there's something for everybody.
Awesome, man.
That's
well,
awesome.
Thanks, Justin, for coming on here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for inviting us to the media night because we're definitely going to jump on that.
Yeah.
And then, we look forward to being a sponsor for Fall Fest. And everybody listening or watching right now for the Roof Trollz Podcast, make sure you guys show out for that. How long does it run from September 26th to when?
November 2nd, I believe.
Look at that. Even after Halloween, you could still hang out. So all the way to November 2nd. I love that.
Can't wait to bring my family.
Yeah, man. It was fun having you. Eddie, nobody gives a shit you were on here. As usual, guys. I'll see you on the next one.
Peace out.